Okay guys, we're gonna be working on the old body style Silverado today, and we're gonna be seeing if we can get the AC working. It does not work. We're gonna pull a vacuum on it. Okay, we just got started on our test. Didn't even get the AC gauges hooked up. I tripped the low pressure switch and the compressor is locked up. It don't work at all. It just squeals the belt. Okay guys, it's been just a few days. I've got some parts in. I got a new compressor. I've got the installation kit that comes with the dryer accumulator, the pag oil, all the stuff you have to buy in order, and the orifice tube, all the stuff you have to buy in order to get the warranty on the compressor, and it has a lifetime warranty. So right now I have pulled a vacuum on the system and it does leak. It don't hold a vacuum. I pull it to 30 inches of mercury and it will drop down in a matter of probably 45 minutes to an hour to zero pressure, which means I have a leak, and I'm hoping it's that locked up compressor. So I'm going to change the compressor, change the dryer accumulator, pull a vacuum on it, and see if it holds vacuum. If it does not hold a vacuum, my next process will be to install a new condenser. And then if it still doesn't hold a vacuum, it's going to mean that my evaporator is leaking inside the cab, which means the dash has to come out in order to change that. That's what I don't want to have to do. So anyway, let me get this dryer accumulator off. I want to do it first, and then I'm going to change the compressor out, and then I'm going to pull a vacuum on it. I need to save this sensor to put on the next system. Alright, this side right here is 1 1/8 inches. This side right here is 1 1/4 inches. I'm going to put just a little pag oil on that tray right there to lubricate my O-rings with. Here's my dryer. Comes with a little O-ring packet. Alright, I'm going to put my O-ring on this piece right here. Put just a little bit of lube. Taking the AC line off the compressor right now. There's only one bolt for that. Okay guys, I wanted to take time to show you something. They won't come out because I hit the compressor. Well, they have a flat side right there on them. And if you get that flat side lined up with the lip of that compressor, they will come off. There it is. Alright guys, so I've got this dryer mounted back in the right spot, and I did add 2 ounces of PAG oil to this. I got on the internet, and that's what I said I should do. I've drained the oil out of the new compressor. It had 3 ounces in it. This system is supposed to have 8 ounces total, so I put 6 ounces in the compressor. I drained the 3 out, put that 3 back, and put 3 more in, so that's 6 plus 2 is 8. So the system should be fully oiled. And now I'm going to start putting the compressor back in the hole here. So I had to go back to the parts store and get another compressor because they gave me the wrong one the first time, and that is aggravating, and I don't blame them for it. It's just they didn't ask enough questions, I guess, because it didn't have the serpentine belt pulley on it. That was what was wrong. The compressor, I guess, would have worked. I know the plug was in a different spot, but I gotta have the serpentine pulley on mine, so had to make another run to town. That's more time, more money, more PAG oil, because I had already put the oil in the other compressor and didn't realize till I got ready to start putting it in the hole that, oh, it's got the wrong pulley on it. So anyway, I want to get this down in the hole, get it bolted back up, and then I'll come back. All right. I'm ready to pull a vacuum on it to see if these 2 parts right here actually stop the system from leaking. Okay, I got my vacuum pump connected. I've got my AC gauges hooked up. Both of these are closed. Both of these are open, ready to pull vacuum. So all I got to do once I start the vacuum pump is open these 2 valves right here. All right. You can watch the vacuum start pulling when I open this valve. We'll let it evacuate the system. Thing is getting rid of a lot of smoke. I don't know if that's moisture, if that's oil out of the vacuum pump. But once it reaches 29 inches of mercury, it should quieten down just a little bit. And I'm going to pull a vacuum, and I'm going to close these valves off, and we'll see if it holds vacuum or not. If it don't, that means I've got a leak somewhere else. Alright guys, I've got my vacuum pulled, holding almost 30 inches of mercury. Just right there at it. So now I'm going to wait about an hour, and I'll come back and check it. If it's still there, that means there's no leak. If it leaks down any, that means there is a leak, and I'll have to replace, I guess, the condenser. Okay guys, it's been roughly 15 minutes and it's lost about 8 inches of mercury, which means there is a leak. So my next step is going to be to replace the condenser that's in front of the radiator. Got my new AC condenser in, let's put it in. Okay, so this thing has some metal brackets on each end I have taken out, and I put these on each end, and that gap right there makes it to where it's got a little movement to it. So here's my attempt to fix that. I'm going to pull that down. It's got a plug in that end so it can't come out. I'm going to pull it and I'm going to spin it and see how well that tightens everything up. I think that should fix the issue. So it absolutely did fix the issue. Now she's good and tight. Yep, just the movement you see is rubber flexing. Alright, I've already taken these caps off one time, and this condenser comes with caps, and it has plugs also under the caps that you have to remove. This thing had pressure in it, which is good. That means it don't leak. They pressurize it from the factory, or put a vacuum on it. I'm not sure. It may have been a vacuum that I heard, but I heard air movement. This lower one already has it already has an orifice in it, so I don't have to put one in it. And now I'm going to get some PAG oil. I'm going to lubricate these threads. Make sure everything's all good. All right, we're ready to pull vacuum again. I'm gonna get all this stuff buttoned back up, and I want to pull a vacuum on it. All right, I'm pulling the vacuum again. It's about 28 inches of mercury, and I'm waiting for it to get on up to 29 inches of mercury. When it gets to about 29 and a half, I'll cut it off and see if it'll hold. Okay, it is 20 till 11. I'm at 29 inches of mercury, and I'll come back in just a little bit and check it and see if it's leaking. Alright, it's been 25 minutes and it is still at the exact same spot it was when I left it, so the leak has been fixed. I'm going to go ahead and leave it for an hour, and I'm just thankful to have this fixed. It was that old junky beat up condenser. Man, that thing is in a mess. So anyway, I'll come back in an hour, and I won't give another update on the vacuum pressure unless it has leaked down, which I don't expect it to do. Alright, I've got the AC on in the cab. I have this fan blower on high, and I have the recirculate button on, and now I'm just start adding the Freon. The compressor is not on right now, but it's supposed to be. I'm going to loosen. Loosen that to get a curves the line, and now I'm going to let it open up. still hadn't come on. The compressor just came on for the first time. Charged up. I put 2 cans in it. The pressure's running all the time. I'm down to about 37 pounds of pressure. I'm gonna get on me an ambient temperature chart and see exactly how much pressure I'm supposed to have. I think I need to add just a little bit more. This compressor is not whisper quiet like I wish it was, but it is running and it is cool on the inside. Well guys, I've got the air blowing and man, it is cold. I know I don't have a thermometer in here with me, but man, it's cold. I've got a sweat going and I sat down in this truck and I'm gonna have to cut it down because it's that cold in here. So anyway, let me cut this sound off. That's gonna wrap up this video, y'all. I just hope this helped somebody out. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you hadn't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Y'all come back next time and we'll see what we got going then.
Yeah.